I come to this magnificent house of worship tonight because my conscience leaves me no other choice. A true revolution of values will lay hands on the world order.
This is Monty Python's all-new Life of Brian. Everyone knows the glorious story of the child born in a faraway manger.
Orthodox Rabbi of the United States, Abraham B. Hecht, once stated, "Monty Python's The Life of Brian is a vicious attack on Judaism and the Bible. It is so grievously insulting that we are genuinely concerned that its continued showing could result in serious violence." Serious violence? Are you kidding? The first call for film censorship in the USA was in 1915 for a film by D.W. Griffith, The Birth of a Nation. Depicting racial strife and the Ku Klux Klan, this film was possibly the most censored American film of all time. Guess it does look a little brutal in its black and white, overexposed, low definition, zero soundtrack glory. The American Catholic Church began its tirade in censorship in 1916, and by 1922 the church began producing their own lists of approved films. This led to Hollywood requesting two prominent Catholics, Martin Quigley and Daniel Lord, to draft the Motion Picture Code by 1930. Go figure, Catholics creating the foundations of censorship. When the Church thought that these standards were too lenient, the Catholic Legion of Decency, or LOD, was formally created in 1934. The LOD's threats against filmmakers, writers and producers forced the movie industry to update the Motion Picture Code, which then established the Production Code Administration, or PCA. This updated code saw the suppression of previously released films and the gross mutilation of other films to fit the classifications. Here begins the war among censors. A direct conflict between freedom of speech and religious views. Anyone stop to think that maybe the viewers of whom are not Christian may This censorship and editing of films to fit the code carried on for a further 20 years, until in 1952 films were granted constitutional protection. Interesting to think that for 20 years the Catholic Church, or moreover the LOD, held sole responsibility over censorship of films. In 1968 saw the release of Rosemary's Baby. Shock horror! The LOD condemned this film, citing its several scenes of nudity, contemporary horror story about devil worship, the perverted use of fundamental Christian beliefs, and the technical excellence of the film serving to intensify its defamatory nature.
Paramount Pictures presents Mia Farrow in a William Castle production, Rosemary's Baby. Co-starring John Cassavetes, Ruth Gordon, Sidney Blackmer, Morris Evans, and Ralph Bellamy. Written for the screen and directed by Roman Polanski. From the best-selling novel by Ira Levin. Suggested for mature audiences.
Muhammad, Messenger of God, released in 1977, director Mustafa Akkad only wanted to spread the good word of Muslim faith. Well, not so much. The same year the film was released, a hostage situation broke out over 3 locations throughout USA, involving about 100 people. The extremists requested the release of 3 imprisoned Muslims and the banning of this film.
He is the bravest man in the desert. When he meets unarmed men,
Muhammad is a liar.
liar. You don't let him speak. Where's the lie and where's the truth? When it hasn't been spoken yet.
Muhammad is a fraud.
In Mecca, 6 centuries after Christ died, Islam was born. But where tens of thousands stand today, once there was only one. One man with a mission of brotherhood and love. And the one became a few who dared to oppose the cruel tyranny of a pagan society.
Have mercy!
A few courageous rebels who spilled their blood in the sand in a heroic struggle against oppression. And the few became a mighty force that shook the world.
One police officer was fatally wounded and 1 hostage injured. The film was banned for about 38 hours. 7,500 is a large number. Even larger when you consider that's how many protesters congregated at Universal Studios in Hollywood in an effort to stop The Life of Brian from being released. It was quoted as being the greatest British comedy of all time. Gee, those 7,500 must have been pissed. While all these mentioned films received heavy criticism and condemnation from their respective religion, it really was the paying public whose voice spoke the loudest. So all those classifications you know about, you can thank religion for putting them in place. God knows we couldn't live without them. But whose God?